9 months ago, a head-on collision with a drunk driver set Serena's van ablaze, costing her her nose, her fingers, her baby daughter and the man she loved.
I am angry if they would get in the car, even the mate who survived, you know. He would have known that his mate was drunk. Why didn't he stop?
Serena was burnt beyond recognition. Her partner and baby died in the flames.
Look at me, this is what happens. My kids, not just me, my kids have got no father, no sister.
Serena came as close to dying as it's possible to get. So damaged, some thought her better off dead. But they didn't know Serena or her incredible will to live. Serena Rudd's life all but came to a fiery end on a Saturday evening in February 1997. Having left her 3 older children at their grandmother's, Serena, her partner Enoha, and their 2.5-year-old daughter Teresa were driving home when they were hit head-on by a drunk.
Couldn't get a liner or anything, Bruce. I've tried. Thank you, Shell.
Upon impact, Serena's car burst into flames. With no time to escape, Enoha and Teresa were burnt to death.
No, you just have to bag him. I can't do it until he's out. Sorry, mate.
Okay, got it. Serena remained conscious long enough to attempt to roll herself out of the flaming vehicle. Bystanders rushed to help, taking off their shirts and soaking them in anything handy. Clothing drenched in beer and lemonade cooled her charred skin until the ambulance arrived. The 21-year-old driver of the offending car was found to have a post-mortem alcohol level more than twice the legal limit. Serena's rushed to Middlemore Hospital. With burns to over 60% of her body, she's unrecognisable as the woman she was less than an hour ago. The burns are so deep, she has no nerves left to feel the pain.
This unfortunate lady's been badly burnt, we understand, in a car crash tonight, and we're just attending to her. She's had to be put off to sleep to have her airway protected. She's been burnt around the head and neck, and the team are just trying to get her settled and stabilised.
The emergency team have stopped her dying, but are yet to save her life. Burns this severe cause enormous trauma, both for the patient and for the Middlemore staff.
Well, your first emotions are that you're just concerned about her safety and like her initial, how she's going to survive and what you can do to make her survive. And then once you've worked through that, it's just a great sadness when you know the details of who she's lost in the accident and the circumstances involved. It's just an overwhelming sadness for her.
Rather than quoting odds, we'd say she's a very serious injury, and it is within the bounds of possibility she may die because of this injury. It's a devastating injury for somebody to sustain, even when they're young and healthy.
Surgeons begin work on the 27-year-old immediately. All the ruined flesh must be removed or she will likely die of infection. Eventually, the wounds will be covered by grafts of Serena's own skin. As an interim measure, the skin of 8 different cadavers provides temporary protection and a bill of over $16,000. For plastic surgeon Earl Brown, this is the first operation of many.
Today we excised all the burned, full-thickness burns on the back. It extended from the neck, where you could see, right down to just below the waist. We've excised all that down to bleeding normal tissue. No, that will not take permanently. It's not her own skin, but our plan is to take that off in a few days' time and put on her own skin, and we'll be taking that from one of the unburned areas on her thigh.
Okay, I think we've done.
I cannot emphasise enough the distress that something like this causes all of us. It's ghastly for Serena, but the flow-on effects are devastating.
Particularly when there is some disagreement over whether or not we should be attempting to save this person's life, and that doesn't happen very often. But occasionally with someone, particularly when there is burns that results in serious disfigurement to the face and reduced function of the hands. we can get into a situation where there's disagreement amongst the staff as to A, whether we should be treating this patient, and B, whether this patient might thank us for treating them many months down the line.
We got to the situation where we actually withdrew active treatment from her towards the end because we were so concerned about what was happening to her.
There were multiple occasions where we stood in here as a group and said, we don't think she'll survive this one. And we'd get her family in and say, we think she will die, and it's probably going to be today or tomorrow. And she always pulled through.
So her problems, as you can see, she's got severely disrupted nose with contracted margins. She still has a small amount of contraction around this eye.
Serena's injuries provide a real challenge for the plastics department, who meet to swap ideas and discuss reconstruction plans.
And the functional areas, I think the eyelids are important, and the mouth and the neck.
Top priority is the creation of a new nose.
We'd probably look at someone with a nose sort of similar in size to her and work out, and it's amazing the distance from there to there, and that has to go into the flap from there across to there.
The skin on the nose and forehead are similar in colouring and fat texture, so her surgeons plan to take a flap from her brow, which they'll fold down to make into a new nose. This is only one of many major procedures Serena will undergo.
When you say she's going to be in for a long haul, realistically, how long do you think it'll take you to achieve the plan that you've evolved today?
You're supposed to be asking me easy questions. I think if we work hard at it, we should achieve what we're trying to within 6 months, but this will be fairly basic.
"6 months was always optimistic. Serena's surgery will end up taking 3 times as long, an 18-month ordeal, involving 20 operations and costing around $620,000.
The eye doesn't close properly, and there's about a 2 to 3 millimetre gap between the eyelids. Therefore, the eye is vulnerable to getting ulceration of the cornea. So what we plan to do is to make an incision up here, which will be in the upper fold of the eye, of the eyelid, and we'll then open that out, and we'll put some skin in there. And in doing that, it's like putting in a gusset, and hopefully it'll be able to close properly after that.
The skin that will make this gusset is Serena's own, shaved from one of her unburnt thighs.
I just made some cuts in the eyelids, and see that I've just released the eyelid there, and that allows it to come down, and I've released it there, and that brings it up. The whole purpose of the eyelid is to cover the eye and give it some protection.
Serena's stay in intensive care lasted over 3 months, but finally she was stable enough to be moved to the burns ward.
She's an astonishing woman, you know. I mean, it's an absolute tribute to humanity that you can actually survive something like that physically, let alone to show the sort of, well, I mean, to show that sort of fortitude to actually deal with it psychologically. I mean, it's an extraordinary thing.
Her bandages needed daily changing, a painful process involving 3 nurses and taking up to 4 hours.
Sorry.
Serena's fingers are nothing more than bloody stumps. She has no nose, and the burns to much of her body have badly contracted the skin. In constant discomfort, the dressing changes and daily stretching only increase the pain.
When we are moving her, doing some of the procedures, and particularly when we're positioning her in positions of stretch, when we're stretching the contracted areas, that can be painful. We give a certain amount of pain relief to enable her to cope with that, but it doesn't take away the pain completely.
Right, this is going to be a little sore, Serena.
Pain, isolation, loneliness. Serena has to not only cope with her disfigurement, but also with the loss of her partner and youngest child.
I'm not quite sure how she actually feels. She did mention to me, though, the other day that she wishes it was all just a dream. She wishes that she was just back at home doing her normal things, you know, cleaning and cooking and looking after her children. She says, and I wish I could just wake up one day and it would just be a dream. I thought to myself, gosh, I felt really sorry for her.
But Serena's not the self-pitying type. Her first words a simple request.
You want to drink a Coke? Can we get her a drink of Coke?
What about a Just Juice?
The mind and body heal at different rates, and it's 7 months before Serena feels strong enough to talk on camera. At her request, we have covered the hole where her nose used to be.
I didn't believe my mum. I didn't believe her because I think when I was in intensive care, I went out and saw my baby and my partner. Then my mum told me I didn't believe her. I said no, they're on the beach. And later on I started to believe because my daughter goes, "What did you say, Mum?" And then I realised that it must be true, and I couldn't say any more because she might have thought that her father was still alive, so I couldn't carry on. I miss him so much.
Serena's body wears permanent reminders of the accident, as does the roadside where the tragedy took place. Burn marks on the asphalt where the van caught fire.
Serena was obviously well ablaze at that stage, and just went to try and get her, get some object or grab her in some way. I pulled on her shirt broke, and then so I just went for the collar, and it was just enough to tip her out.
And then when I was on the ground, his wife come and talked to me and kept talking, and I was pampering, breathing, because I knew I had 3 more kids to look after, and that's what kept me going.
We knew that her little girl and the boyfriend happened to be in the vehicle, but it was just not even a chance to even go have a look, you know, it was too well gone.
I'm really proud of him, of what he did, because I wouldn't be here today if he never pulled me out.
Over her 7-month stay in Middlemore, Serena has made some good friends. Now she's ready to move on to rehabilitation, and everyone has come to say goodbye.
You don't want to give it to us, eh? Thank you.
Serena's total dependency has forged some very close relationships.
Oh, yum. Wow, the big bit. Oh, look at that.
Try it.
Over the coming months, Serena's plastic surgeon will be seeing his patient many more times. But it's obvious he's impressed with her progress thus far.
It's great that you're going off, isn't it, after all these months in this room here, and you all must be feeling quite excited about it. Yeah, it's a huge challenge to you, of course, and you know, we've been most impressed. I think since about the 1st of August you've really taken off, and each day you've improved. It's been great.
See ya.
This is the first time Serena's seen daylight since the accident. It's also the first time she's ridden in a vehicle, and it brings the memories flooding back.
A little bit scary, yeah. Just because I haven't been in a car since I've been out, since the accident happened, so it's a bit scary, but I knew they're safe drivers, but just, yeah, feeling how it feels good in a way, yep.
Serena fought so hard for her life for 3 reasons, and their names are Renee, Manu and Andre. They visit several times a week.
I didn't know train trip.
Yeah, was it neat?
Since the accident, they've been living with their grandmother, Cheryl.
It's been a big change for us, definitely, yeah. It's really sort of bringing up a family now. We've had a few ups and downs, but we're getting there. Yeah, it's pretty sort of tough going, but it's good. The kids are good, they've settled down now, it's taken a while. But
Fast.
and guess what?
But I can
try your best. Oh, yeah, one of those.
And out the Ross's boat yesterday, got small scallops.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to eat all those.
And white baked fritters.
Serena's children are her reason to live, but daily inspiration comes in the form of rehabilitation nurse Lynn Hammer. Lynn, too, has seen tragedy in her life and has great empathy for everything Serena's been through.
I lost a husband at a young age and was widowed with 2 small children.
Serena has had that plus more, and she's so courageous that I've just shared with Serena the things that help me. Yeah.
Push. Forwards. Go on.
Forwards.
Oh, she's doing remarkably well, really. I mean, considering the extent of her injuries, I mean, she's doing very well, and most of that's down to her, really. I mean, she's a very, very courageous person, and which is making our job a lot easier. So she really goes for things, and she sort of cries through the pain at times.
Oh, God, it's sore.
Where?
My bum.
Okay. Is it just you've been lying on it too long?
Yeah, sitting on it too long.
Okay. Forwards you go.
Here we go.
Serena's been building up for the big challenge, walking. Until this day, she had only managed a few steps, but it's amazing what the power of music can do.
Worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. You don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. You don't worry about a thing.
Back up.
Okay, don't sit till you feel it.
Don't sit till you feel it behind your knee.
Yep.
Thank you. Wonderful.
It's been said that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and burn survivor Trish Ball is the living proof. Once a fortnight she drives from Hamilton to visit.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Trish's experience was remarkably similar to Serena's. She too was severely burnt in a car accident.
Me too. And I went over to the gym this morning, and that was the first time. Then they got me an electric wheelchair.
Oh, great.
So I was zooming around the water, go, watch out!
It's been 9 months since Serena's accident, and she still hasn't looked at her face. To help Serena overcome her very understandable fear, Trish has brought photos of her own burns.
Now you just remember you're going to have all your photos, and you're going to get an album, like I said, and do yours as well, because they're really important for later on down the track when you're having a really bad day.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, you can look back on your photos and you just feel so much better because you think, my gosh, look how far I've come. And it just shows you that, that I've got my ear there. And it was a week after that they amputated the ear. And my hair just looks like it's been singed off, but it's the actual scalp that's been burned as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to look like Herman Munster and cry. Yeah, I thought, oh my God, what have they done? But never mind.
In seeing these photos, Serena realises she's already well on the road to recovery.
Now on the photos and then looking at Trish now, I can make it.
And looking at the photos, when I see other people's photos, looking at not what they look like, but all the time you're thinking, my God, what they went through, because you've gone through it.
I couldn't believe it when they...
Serena has pinned her hopes on being home for Christmas. Her hard work is paying off, and with her goal in sight, a shopping spree is the order of the day.
Are you? Just the quantity of people, or...?
No, I should be okay, just off and go,
Just be like...
Rehab nurse Lynn and her partner Keith have volunteered their services. This is Serena's first time out in public, a psychological milestone.
and just make eye contact, Serena.
And just smile.
Yes, that's a one. That's a one.
Serena's confidence has increased to the extent that she will let herself be seen without her nose covered.
Well, looking at it now and then in the future it's going to get rebuilt, so it doesn't really bother me, really.
Serena's arms and head are covered with tight-fitting pressure bandages. She wears them 23 hours a day to prevent her burn scars contracting and possibly causing loss of movement in her joints. In a sticky Auckland summer, they are constricting and hot to wear, but Serena bears the discomfort stoically.
Thank you.
That sounds neat.
There we go. You want to bring all your bum back a bit?
It is right back.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, we better have your money. You can't go shopping without a money.
A public appearance also means being prepared to bump into people she knew before the accident. But being with Lynn gives Serena confidence.
Me and Lynn's friendship, we're really close now because she's the nurse that got me going at the beginning, and I really appreciate what she's done.
No, he's not working either.
I run out of batteries. Because if she never, I think I'd be still trying. Like, she was bossy, but I realised that's what I really needed to get me going.
The licence, Serena?
Oh, I don't know about that one. Oh, there's Mum and Carl.
We heard that Serena was coming, so we thought we'd surprise her.
Come along.
Give her a support.
Yeah.
We're really pleased she came out tonight because she actually, you know, she's not sort of scared of the public because she could sort of just hide away and not want to go out amongst the public. So it's really great she's gone straight out.
Now, what have you got in mind for the kids? Have you really thought about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Ella, I wanted those little games if we find them.
Well, Keith's gone up to have a look. I think they're in a bin up the front. Yeah.
Serena also caught up with some old school friends.
Yeah. Oh, Serena.
It's in Christmas shopping.
It's a lot. Good to see you out.
Yeah. I'll see you after. I've got to get going. See ya.
She's got to go.
This
is the hard part.
Where's Mum? She should know.
Are these what you're talking about?
Oh, the dear.
It's been a long time since Serena's shopped for anything, but even though she hasn't lived with her children for nearly a year, she hasn't lost her motherly common sense.
So how many of these do you want?
But I just want to know if there's any different games so they don't have the same
So they don't
one.
all have the same, which is fever.
I can't hold it.
The shopping spree has been a success, making Serena feel part of the real world again.
Oh, thank you.
Got enough money for a packet of fags now?
Yeah, I have
Got
to.
enough for a packet of fags.
It's good fun. Didn't want to come back, but it was good to get out and get my kids presents. It was really neat. People looked at me and I just smiled back and they just smiled at me. It didn't really bother me. I just carried on what I was going to come there for to do. Yeah.
As planned, Serena celebrated Christmas with her children.
Went home for 2 weeks and I've never seen so much Christmas presents under a Christmas tree. I think the kids got spoilt this last year, but being around the kids and it was just really good. It was happy and sad because it's the first time that they're not there, Enoha and Teresa. I cry now and then, keep doing it. Take me a long time. Probably I think when I realise that they're really, like I'm realising now that they're gone, but when I'm at home I think that's going to be the hardest, being with my kids and just me. It's knowing that they're not around, it's going to really hit me, yeah.
But being in familiar surroundings worked as good therapy.
There's a few things, you know, like making a cup of tea or anything. I'll say, well, you know, you should really do it. Just get up and do it yourself. Or can I have that? And I said, well, get it yourself, I say to her, you know, to push her along, yeah.
Returning to Middlemore, Serena walked through the door all by herself.
Morning.
Morning.
Right, what are we going to start with today?
What have you got planned?
Well, we thought we'd do the obstacles things and then we'll go on that bike thing as well.
Okay.
The day when Serena will go home for good is definitely in sight. The stronger she gets, the stronger she wants to get, continually impressing the Middlemore staff with her true grit.
Well, 5 more.
5 more.
5 more. Okay.
I was going to say stop, but you do 5 more.
I should have kept quiet.
She gets better every day. She'll try anything, give her a wee push in the right direction. Oh, go then, I'll have a go, and off she goes. Yep, she's doing really, really well. She's well motivated. We'll try anything, and that's what you need. That's what she needs to get going. She's got that, so it's easy for me. I'm standing back now and just say, off you go.
Right, which way round do you want to go? Do you want to go down the stairs and then back up, or do you want to go up and then down?
Up and down, it's easier.
Okay.
A change of scenery as Serena progresses from exercising in the gym to exercising in the garden. And while the physios work at strengthening and speeding up Serena's walking, the occupational therapists are looking for new and novel ways to increase her arm movement.
finding things that she's really motivated to do and setting her up in a way that she can, well, get more movement in her arms, such as an example would be her smoking aid, actually. I figured out at one stage that who was really keen and most motivated to smoke, and I got one of those Palmer bands that you can see around her hand now and gave it to her, and off she went, and she was, you know, using her arm in the most beautiful way and regularly.
Once Serena had to be wheeled everywhere, but now she can walk to her own operations.
It is okay coming back again, but it's a bit scary. Felt good seeing old nurses again and have a laugh.
Hey, Rams, follow me.
Is Amanda still on?
Yeah, she's on the morning.
Oh, is she? Okay.
So she'll probably be on tomorrow. I don't think she's got a day.
Tomorrow, Earl Brown will begin rebuilding Serena's nose, but already her thoughts are much further into the future. All she dreams about is restarting her life together with her children in their own home.
Oh, they love it. They just can't wait till I get a house, or I have got the house. And my daughter goes, Mum, if you go and look at a house, can you pick it if it's still ugly? I said, yeah, I will. They're just wanting me home now, knowing that I'm okay, I can get going with life, and they just want to be around me all the time now.
There's a long history to the operation Serena is about to undergo, dating back to the time of Buddha. It was first performed in India as early as 6 BC, developed because in those days a common form of punishment was the removal of the nose.
This type of nasal operation stood the test of time. This is just a diagram to show and briefly just what we did to reconstruct the nose. And we brought this down here, followed the arrow, and we brought that down there. And then we folded this part here, and we were able to fold it around in such a way that we could get the two nostrils and the end of the nose.
This is not a standalone operation. Serena will need further plastic surgery to give her new nose shape and make it function properly. But after today, she will at least have one. And a nose that resembles a golf ball is better than no nose at all.
I really want to get home now because I've been in hospital for so long. I'm quietly getting sick of it.
15 months after the near-fatal fire, Serena is finally allowed to move back home permanently. ACC have provided her with a house modified to her special needs, but she still needs the help of caregivers 24 hours a day. Unpaid, Serena's mother Cheryl is doing the same job for love.
Kids really going up to the camp.
Life for this family is getting back to normal.
Rosie! Come on. Eva! Eva. I called it an Eva before. Come on. Buddy. Yeah. Is he coming up? Yeah.
While the caregivers are all total strangers to the family, it's not hard for them to see how happy the kids are to have their mum back.
Oh, they're loving it. They're just really loving being at home, just being with mum. Serena lies on the settee and you can go down there and there's one behind her and there's one in front of her and there's one at the end of her and they're all around her and they watch television together. They spend a lot of time together.
Hang on, I'll put my
Like
finger-
any family, there's the usual rush in the morning.
Now you got to hold it. Now go.
All right.
What? I'm cutting the knots.
What a scream. Get a knife and cut it off.
Have a good day.
The morning ritual of seeing her children off to school is a special part of Serena's day.
Don't forget to do your shoelace outside or you'll trip up and break your leg.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day, a team of 6 caregivers work as an invisible pair of hands, doing the chores Serena is physically incapable of doing herself. Serena's mother applied for one of the caregiving jobs, but was told family weren't allowed on the payroll.
They said that they won't allow family, but we couldn't understand that because There are, you know, like a lot of circumstances too with privacy for Serena, you know, she'd like a bit of private. And I said, well, you know, not all cases are the same, but they still wouldn't, so we've had to just accept it, which we didn't like.
I've made all the beds, made Serena's bed too, because she was up early this morning, so I was able to get all that done. And everything's okay.
Great.
All right.
Was it physio this morning?
Yep, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
Well, you've got a full day ahead of you, so I'll leave you to it. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
As friendly and as helpful as her caregivers are, Serena is looking forward to the day when she'll be independent enough to live alone with her children.
Yeah, they're good, just to help me get going, because I wanted to just get going and be home on my own with the kids by myself again.
Having survived such a close brush with death, Serena has immense sympathy for others whose lives have been shattered.
There was patients at the hospital, they haven't been through what I've been through, birds, but they've been sick and can't walk again, and they're trying, and I try and help them along, and even if they're not birds or anything, I try and help people get going, and like I've done it, and I say, I've been through it and you can do it, just keep going. You don't give up.
As Serena became more mobile, she decided it was time to let the whole of New Zealand see for themselves the damage drink driving can cause. She began with an appearance on the Good Morning Show.
Hi, Serena. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Lovely to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you all okay? Everyone sort of set you up and you know what you're in for? Yeah. You were probably about 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Right. My next guest this morning lost both her partner and her youngest daughter in a horrific car crash. What sort of injuries?
But just when Serena was going from strength to strength, her new nose started giving her trouble. The newly formed nostrils began closing up, forcing a return to hospital for yet another operation.
Our main concern is to improve the appearance of the nose. There's been quite a lot of contracture of scar tissue, which has given it this rather bulbous appearance.
To give her nose the shape it needs, surgeon Earl Brown will cut a piece of cartilage from Serena's rib to be inserted through one of the nostrils.
So essentially we're just going through the layers of the skin, the normal fat which is under the skin, through the muscles which across the bottom of the cartilage and onto the cartilage itself. And the cartilage that I harvest will be used by Mr. Brown to support the soft tissue of the nose and to give it some definition.
The cartilage is trimmed down to a thin slither and slid into position, providing a support that will enable the nose to hold its shape.
No, thanks.
By elevating the nostrils, there is less chance of them closing up again. But due to the amount of scarred tissue present, the final part of the operation is tricky.
Well, we've got to the stage where we're suturing in the nostrils, and it's extremely difficult because the tissues are so scarred, and despite the fact that I've thinned them down considerably, they just don't want to mould particularly well. And so once we've got all these put together, we're going to let all that heal, and at a next stage we'll then be able to take away all the bulgy bits of tissue down here, and we'd have to wait about at least 3 months because the success of this operation depends on maintaining a blood supply to that tissue at all times.
Serena will have to wear these bolsters in her nose for the next 3 weeks to ensure her nostrils stay open as they heal.
This is just some antibiotic ointment to help prevent an infection, and it also keeps the stitches fairly easy to remove. It stops them being caked in blood.
Serena's next visit to Middlemore was purely for pleasure.
Her nose looks really good.
Today marks her 29th birthday, and the staff who have come to know her like family are not about to let the occasion pass uncelebrated.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Serena. Happy birthday to you.
Oh no.
What a far cry this birthday is from last year. Serena turned 28, lying immobile and near death in intensive care.
Big day, eh? Yeah, I know, getting older.
Serena will long be remembered at Middlemore, both as a challenging patient and an inspiring human being.
I was really tough, but I actually only made her cry once. I was tough with her because it was for her own good, and she would see that at the end of whatever we were doing. I just knew that she had that extra mile that she could go, yeah, and she just needed to be reminded.
I mean, she's an incredibly brave person, I think, and that has shown through the whole time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's her motivation and the fact that it was her kids that are her main driving force. Everything was so I can get home, and yeah, she's just makes me feel so humble because she's got a lot more courage than I think I'll ever have.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty amazing. I think, if you look at where she was a year ago and look at now when she's virtually independent in comparison, I think it's pretty amazing progress.
Okay, children.
Smile, Kat, smile.
Got a new car and I'm all excited, a bit nervous to go out on the road, but I'll get there. I've got everywhere else, so I suppose another thing, we'll get there.
The lack of fingers is not about to stop Serena getting mobile. Her car has been fitted out especially for her.
So I won't go out driving at night. It is scary, and sometimes when I'm driving in the car with just being a passenger, just looking at cars and are they going to hit us? It is scary for me, yeah.
Now that she has her own transport, one of the first places Serena wants to visit is the intensive care unit, to thank the many people who looked after her during the 101 days she was unconscious.
Wow, that looks amazing. Got a new nose.
How you doing, eh? You look fantastic. Hey, how you feeling?
Good.
Good. You're looking wonderful.
It's good.
Yeah.
Been home now with the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look so healthy.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Is that your hair?
Yeah.
Wow. It's good. It's good.
Are you sure?
You've got more than me. It's not difficult. No, it's not hard.
Do you remember the room?
No, I don't see any of them.
It's empty.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember anything of being here?
I do remember once, but I don't know if I was out of intensive care when I couldn't talk. They were coming. Yeah, but that's the only time I remember.
I mean, it took a long time for you to look at your face, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Cried my eyes out.
It's quite hard not to cry, actually. Yeah. We treat lots of patients here, lots of sick people. We treat a fair number of burns, but I don't think anybody has sort of caused the same degree of emotional havoc in this unit as Serena has.
We were concerned that we might, spend, as she did, 3.5 months in intensive care with all that vast input of money and time and effort and emotion to have someone at the end of it who wouldn't thank us for being alive. And that was a terrible concern for us. But to see her now is incredibly rewarding, very, very, very emotional.
Seeing Serena walk in today, I must say that I'm completely and utterly shocked at how good she looks. And she's put on such a lot of weight. She's taller than I remembered. Her hair's grown. She's got a nose. She's got a smile. She's happy to be alive.
Well, I was going to say that's the most important thing. She's happy to be alive. Yeah.
See you, David. See ya.
Thank you for coming. All right.
They're excellent staff. They just keep me going and help me along, and you can do it, Serena, and I can, I do it, and then I think back, you're right, I can do it, yeah.
The next time Serena returned to Middlemore would be her 20th time under anaesthetic in less than 2 years. Today, Earl Brown will perform 3 procedures at once, including the final shaping of her nose.
I don't think we're going to get a lovely model-looking nose because we're dealing with scarred tissue.
Because of the shrinkage of scar tissue around Serena's neck, 2 gussets of skin will be inserted to allow more movement.
Looks kind of brutal, but it's a natural plane of cleavage which doesn't cause too much bleeding.
The final procedure is the insertion of a tissue expander to be placed under the skull cap. A balloon filled with saline solution will stretch Serena's scalp over a period of 5 months, so that eventually she will regrow a full head of hair.
You can see the expander here all I've got to do is sew up without putting a needle through it.
This is what plastic surgeons train for, and you look back and think, are there any other jobs in life you'd like to do? And I think the greatest reward is just to see our patients, and Serena in particular here, looking much better, smiling when she comes in to see us. We're always happy to see her. Okay, thanks folks.
There are still several more operations in store for Serena, but the worst is behind her. The flames scarred her skin but left her spirit intact, and every day she spends with her children is a gift.
It is really good. Really happy. Being home with the kids is just great. They help me and they cook breakfast for me some mornings, and you know, if they had lost me, it would have been really hard. It's hard now without their father and their sister.
And now the hardest part of all. It's taken Serena and the children nearly 2 years to pluck up the courage to revisit the scene of the accident. The place where Anoha and baby Teresa were burned to death. Gone, but forever remembered.
It's just hard even coming out here. It took me a little while to drive out. But it does give me a bit of a funny feeling, and just looking at the road where it was and thinking of the accident. I'm going to put it on. You have to tie it on there. There's a stick there. It's on the fence.
This dance.
You got it, baby?
Move.
Okay.
It's gonna fall.
It's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Is that nice?
Yeah.
Everyone says I'm brave, but when I look back later on, maybe I'll think, gee, I've gone through that. I must be brave, I don't know.
Then we'd get her family in and say, we think she will die, and it's probably going to be today, and she always pulled through.
That's better, because then you sort this out here good.
Stop. 5 more.
5 more.
5 more. Okay.
I was going to say stop, but you do 5 more.
Good day.
Now the nightmare's over. I've just got to get over and get going now. My life's getting back. Yeah, I have to keep going. Yeah.
TV2 with the help of your broadcasting fee, so you can see more of New Zealand on air.